Hello and welcome to Meet the Fleet, a series of videos introducing you to the locomotives that run on the Bruceton Railway. The London North Eastern Railway Class K1 is a type of 260 Mogul steam locomotive designed by Edward Thompson. Thompson preferred a simple two-cylinder design instead of his predecessor Nigel Gresley's three-cylinder one. The 70 K1s were intended to be split between the North Eastern region of British Railways and the Eastern region of British Railways. LNER Class K4 number 3445 Macalin Moore was rebuilt in 1945 at Darlington Works as a two-cylinder prototype of the K1 class, designated K1/1. Thompson entrusted the rebuilding of number 3445 as a two-cylinder mogul to his principal assistant Arthur Peppercorn. The locomotive became British Railways number 61997 and was withdrawn from service in 1962. The Peppercorn K1s proved to be useful and versatile engines. They worked extensively over ex-LNER territory, but were chiefly associated with North East England and, like their K4 predecessors, the West Highland Line. Like many post-nationalisation classes, the K1 had relatively brief lives. All were withdrawn between 1962 and 1967, but the last to be retired was ultimately preserved. They were capable of reaching speeds up to 50 miles per hour, or 45 miles per hour while running tender first. One example of the class, number 62005, which was the final member in service before its withdrawal, has been preserved and is based at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. It was acquired as a source of a spare boiler for the Solidarity Preserved K4, but in 1972 the K1 was donated, still with its boiler, to the North Eastern Locomotive Preservation Group. It was also used as a stationary boiler at ICI North Tees Port Clarence Works for a period of 6 weeks. It was eventually placed into storage at Neville Hill, where it was later obtained by Viscount Garnock, Geoffrey Drury, George Neeson and Brian Hollingsworth, as a spare boiler for the sole surviving member of the class of Gresley's K4 moguls, 61994, the Great Marquise. The plan for the stationary boiler fell through, and the locomotive was eventually purchased by the 45428 Stanier Class 5 Locomotive Society Limited and was later donated to the NELPG. K1 62059 is a recent member to the Bruceton Railway and was gifted the name Katie by the wife of the owner, Kelly Ashford. Katie is yet to be put through her paces, but her trials show great promise of her pulling capabilities. We hope you've enjoyed meeting Katie, and remember, she can be seen upon request at any time. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon for another episode of Meet the Fleet.